Yo, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Five-star performance from the Arsenal. We just beat Sheffield United 5-0. Eddie Nketiah hat trick. Guess what? Declan Rice display once again. Emile Rowe started the game and got a cheeky assist for the third Eddie Nketiah goal. In addition to that, Tomiyasu getting a super sub goal. Fábio Vieira announcing to the world that he's expecting a child. Congratulations to him with his penalty goal. And let's get this match reaction started. Big up Gunner Souls, as you guys already know. Let's get it going. Hey, yo, Gunner Souls, how you doing, man? How you doing? Goal difference is up, 5 goals, great performance. We didn't even need Martin Odegaard to come in as he didn't start the game. Emile Rowe, cheeky assist. Eddie Nketiah, put some respect on his name. Your defense is in trouble when Eddie Nketiah walks into the room in this kind of form. And finally, I just feel like, you know what? The most crucial part was a result and a great performance. And we finally got that from the Arsenal today. So let me know, everybody, how you guys doing in the chat. Let me know how you guys are feeling, putting 5 past the team this season for the first time. And when was the last time we put 5 past somebody, bro? Like, I can't remember. When was the last time we scored 5 goals? Was it at the back end of last season versus Everton or something like that?
Wasn't it the last game of the season? I'm sure we scored like.
Yeah, who was that against? Wolves. Yeah, the last game of the season versus Wolves. So I'm happy. Last season, did we score 5 goals early in the season at all?
No, we had like a lot of threes, probably the highest, maybe 4s. We've had like 4-2 against Leicester. Was it Leicester? Yeah, Leicester. I think that was probably our biggest.
I'm just saying, bro, these kind of performances keep up. We're going to have a great goal tally. And guess what? Souls, did you know we're now top of the goal difference charts with Newcastle? They're currently playing now 0-0. We also are 1 goal off the top goal scoring team. We're ahead of Tottenham now with goals scored. These things, we got to talk about it. How you feeling, though? Chat to me.
Now, you know what? This is the first time I felt like, and actually the last 2 games, even against Sevilla, were probably the first times I felt like the last season Arsenal. You know, the free-flowing, attacking football. You know, the scorelines don't have to be there, but, you know, obviously today we got the 5 goals, whereas it was 2-1 midweek, but it felt more like what we've been used to seeing, a lot more dominance, a lot more attacking flair, a lot more ideas and creativity on the pitch. And I think we need to see more of it, especially against teams like Sheffield United. It's not, a lot of people think it's disrespectful to say, you know, we should be beating teams like this, you know, 3-0, 4-0, 5-0. But they have been one of the worst teams in the Premier League this season. 29 goals conceded in their 9 or 10 games. So, you know, it's one of those where we needed to put a statement out. We needed to get the goal difference up, regardless of whether United, City, you know, Tottenham, whatever, have scored, whatever. Because there's games where we will struggle, but where we'll score like a 1-0 or a 2-0, and Man City will go get a 5-0 against them. That's like, for example, we've got Burnley coming up very soon. They beat them 3-0. That doesn't mean we have to beat them 3-0. We just need to recoup for our losses somewhere else. So that's what we did today. You know, they were there for the taking. We probably the most clinical display I've seen, especially from Eddie Nketiah. Tomiyasu taking his goal really well as well. You know, obviously Fábio Vieira with the penalty, you know, dispatched that. And they've got a really good record for that as well. So I think overall, rotations, 5 goals, there's not a lot to complain about. But at the same time, we need to see more of this. We need to see this actually translate into something. You know, beating Man City, then drawing to Chelsea isn't exactly what you want to see, going 2-0 down especially. So we need this to start translating into more momentum. But the one thing that I do want to say as a positive this season, we're no longer waiting 2 or 3 games to actually see a turnaround from a bad performance. We're seeing it in the very next game. You know, we had a bad performance against Chelsea to some degree. Against Sevilla, we played really well. And obviously Sheffield United, we absolutely dominated them. So it's a perfect start to the season, in my opinion. And obviously we just got to keep the momentum going.
Yeah. First thing I'm going to say is put some respect on Eddie Nketiah's name. The man today, he topped up his phone bill and started calling. He's like 3 goals, bang, bang, bang. And Sheffield United, I know you guys are going to say, don't gas it up. It's just Sheffield United. It's just Sheffield United. It's just Sheffield United. It's just this team. It's just that team. Well, we've been getting criticized for our offensive performances. We've been getting criticized for the displays that we've been doing. We've been getting criticized for our chance creation. And I just want to show you guys 5 goals for Sheffield United. Who have Sheffield United played this season and how have they fared? They've faced Manchester United. It was a comeback for Manchester United late in the game, if I'm not mistaken, right? Then you have the games where they faced Newcastle. Obviously, they got smashed by Newcastle, but Tottenham away, only 1 goal difference. Manchester City at home, only 1 goal difference. So as much as you guys want to discredit Arsenal for what we've done, you have to look at what Sheffield United have done versus their opponents this season. We put 5 past them, and Eddie Nketiah with the hat trick. Now, before we get any further, let me just show you guys what the team lineup looked like to start the game. The team lineup to start the game was this, and there was Mikel Arteta made some changes. I honestly was not nervous at all going into this game when I seen the lineup. I was actually very excited to see Emile Smith-Rowe, to see Gabriel, to see Eddie Nketiah, even Zinchenko. I'm like, you know what? This is the perfect game for Zinchenko. Tomiyasu's done well the last couple games, but we don't need his defensive ability as much. Guess what? He comes on and he scores a goal himself. So it's like Mikel Arteta got this game perfect. I think he did an amazing job. And we're going to get into the talking points, but what did you think about the lineup before the game started? I thought I was never worried seeing KVR coming in. I never really thought Sheffield United were going to cause us too much problems defensively. And you can see how they set up defensively. They basically had 1 man forward, 5 guys and a 4, and we still found ways to break them down. Like, I mean, we had 13 shots, 8 shots on target, 4 big chances created. And before this game, I'm pretty sure our chances created, we were like one of the worst teams in the league. Now, if I can just go to that stat, you can see where we are in chances created, big chances created. We're creeping up now. Oh, we're still not even on the first page. Yeah, that's bad. Oh no, they haven't updated it. So they're gonna add 4 big chances to this 13, and we're gonna be in the top 10 now. Finally, finally, we're gonna be back in the top 10. That's how bad we've been at big chances created this season, man. But yeah, Souls, take it away.
Yeah, no, when I seen the lineup, I was actually quite intrigued, but also excited at the same time. And I was like, you know what? Finally, Arteta's done what we've asked him to do, which is play players on merit. I understand Kai Havertz and Smith Rowe coming in. They haven't really earned the opportunity per se because they haven't really come on and done anything that says, yeah, they should start. But Odegaard has been, poor, whether that's from, fatigue, whether it's just, playing too many games, whatever the case may be, he's just not been the Odegaard we know. So he took him out of the firing line. Perfect time to do it. It's Sheffield United. We're expected to beat them regardless of what kind of team we put out. And obviously, one of the last season criticism was we didn't rotate enough so that when it really mattered at the business end of the season, like, for example, a Smith Rowe coming in, not playing football for like 2-3 months, not getting enough minutes to actually, not be rusty in the business end of the season is going to cost us. Whereas with this season, he's bringing Smith Rowe on for a start. He's got Kai Havertz starting. He's got Kiwior starting. So that, let's say, I'm not saying I want to have an injury, but I'm saying if an injury was to happen or we needed to, rotate players, they're not going to go in there. And it's their first game in like 4, 5, 6 weeks. And that's, I think, the positive sign for them to actually come in and put in a performance as well. It may not be to our standard because a lot of the times what happens is Kai Havertz will be getting, a lot of pelters because he didn't score, he didn't get the assist. ESR will get pelters for not having, the goal or the assist or tripping up, when he could have scored. But for me, overall, the players who came in, like Eddie Nketiah had a point to prove. A lot of people are questioning, Gabriel Jesus is injured. Crap, like, is this going to be the downfall of Arsenal? But he came in, scored a hat-trick, put all that doubt to bed. But for me, he needs to be more consistent. Kai Havertz today, the annoying thing with Kai Havertz is everything he does is what we didn't really want to see. So what I mean by that is all the defensive duels, the aerial duels, just the kind of being a nuisance and a target man. And that's what he did really well. Like Smith Rowe, I thought he brought a lot of fluidity to the midfield today in terms of just picking the ball up, keeping it rotating, but holding on to it. But his ability to just be able to drive with the ball as well and be that kind of threat. Zinchenko, completely different dynamic to how we've ever seen him play. We know he does the inverted role, but his late runs into the box. There was a moment, I think it was Saliba who passed it into him and he could have scored. But you know what? Trusty, fair play to him, had a really good game. So overall, I think we can be really happy because we're starting to see the squad perform, not the 11 perform. And I think that's the most positive thing that we can take from it.
Yeah, big win. Big win. And before we go into any talking points, big up to everyone in the chat. Do me a favor, please do hit that like button, share the video, let people know we're live right now. It really helps out the channel massively. And of course, if you're watching this on the playback, my main question to everybody is, do we need to see more offensive performances like this? And do we need to continue to rotate against smaller sides and trust our squad? Because I think it's time that we trust our squad and we let Mikel Arteta do as many rotations as he deems fit against some of these smaller teams at home. Maybe away from home, we go with our strongest team. And maybe when there's no need to rotate, we still go with our strongest team. But on the odd occasion, trusting the squad, creating the squad harmony is key. And I think this was a big win.
I wouldn't say as many as you wanted, because if you over rotate, it can be a problem as well. But I feel like what he did today, where he had technically 3 players coming in, I think that's about right. Like 3, max 4 players rotated. I think that's about a nice number to keep.
Okay, let's get straight into some of these talking points. First things first. Before I even pull up Eddie Nketiah or anything with Eddie Nketiah, I'm just gonna say, doesn't Declan Rice kind of deserve a little shout out too? Because that first goal, I just want to show you guys that first goal was brought to you by Cobham. Yeah, big up Chelsea for giving us Eddie Nketiah and Declan Rice, 2 Cobham graduates, linking up for that first goal. Eddie and that assist from Declan Rice was amazing. So I'm just gonna cheekily take that away. And yeah, I think Eddie that first goal, Declan Rice, the pass was a Kevin De Bruyne-esque pass. Eddie Nketiah touch takes and then all he has to do is put it on target and it's a goal. And that was a beautiful goal to start off the game. And I give Eddie Nketiah credit there. The second goal was scrappy. And you know what? They gave Saka the friggin' assist for it in fantasy. so Saka gets the assist for that. And just quick talking point is the Eddie Nketiah hat trick. Is it me, or does he do this every time he gets back into the starting job? He somehow finds a way to make us think he could do this consistently. He somehow gets into this team and performs well. And people are going to say we still need a striker in January, and I agree. But can he hold us down for Jesus while Jesus is injured? And can we trust him as a 9 for at least the next couple of weeks?
I mean, you know what it is? It's not his ability that I question. It's his consistency. It's always been whether he can stay consistent. And I've always made the point of he seems to be able to do it for like 2-3 games and then go on a goal drought. And for me, that's not good enough. Like, just because, giving us 3 games, I'd rather you kind of, be a bit more like 1 in 2, 1 in 3, not 1 in like how many other games and then we want it. Because the reality is when a player like this comes in, you want to be able to sit there and go, I don't even care when Jesus comes back. Not in a bad way, not that I want him to stay injured, but you don't want to be missing the player that he's coming in for. You want to be able to, be like, what, Eddie's playing, we're good with that. It's like, for example, if Trossard comes in for Martinelli, you're not going to sit there and go, I absolutely miss, Martinelli. Yes, you want him back, but you're not like, oh, the title hopes are done, everything's done. And that's what I think with Eddie Nketiah is, yes, he scored a hat-trick today, but what are you going to do next game? And what are you going to do the game after that? Because that's where the question comes in. He's not consistent enough in many games. And if he can bring that consistency, then I'm fine with him. I think he's got the ability, he's got the technical ability to actually be a backup striker where we don't need to bring someone in. But I feel like the conversations come in because what we're going to see is he scores a hat-trick against Sheffield. He probably will score against Newcastle. But then what does he do after that? And that's where the question marks and the worries come in for a lot of Arsenal fans. And yeah, that's just, for me, it's the only problem I have with him.
Okay. Let's go to the next talking point. The next talking point is some of the guys that scored. I'm just gonna go to Tomiyasu quickly. Tomiyasu coming off the bench. He just does this every time. I just want to give him a little bit of a shout out. Is it me or he deserves this goal because he's been playing well lately?
He's been phenomenal. Like, he's been sensational recently. And we've even been questioning whether like he's actually doing the inverted role quite well as well. And do you know what the weirdest thing is? The guy plays like a striker. It's so weird. It's just so like you know what? Like for the last sort of what is it, like 3-4 games, he's wanted a goal. And even when you look at him against Chelsea, for example, like the position he took up for the Martinelli goal, like to nod it off to Havertz, Havertz to Martinelli, it's like there's something different about the way we're using Tomiyasu. And we know defensively he can get back, but there's clear, strengths that Arteta's identified and said, you know what, we can actually use these strengths in a game. And his versatility, his ability to play different ways, his ability to go up top, now obviously scoring as well, being bipedal. I just think he's a phenomenal player. A lot of people, I don't know, they doubted him, wanted to sell him because of the injuries, which I totally understand because he has not been available as much as we'd like him to be. But I feel with what Arteta's doing, giving him these sort of sporadic minutes and, not just throwing him back into the team and being like, look, I know you're back, so here you go, play against Man City, play against Liverpool, play against, because that's what we did last season. We played him against Man City, got injured, played him against Liverpool, got injured. But now we're giving him moments to come back in. And I think a lot of people are now starting to see the quality shine through, and we're not worried whether it's Zinchenko, whether it's Tomiyasu, whether it's Ben White, and that's, I think, the part to be happy about.
Fábio Vieira coming on, getting a goal. Congratulations to him and his family. I just wanted to shout that out. Not really much to be written home about it, but he did take a penalty, and I'm surprised he took the penalty. I thought it was going to be given to Eddie Nketiah to get his fourth, but congratulations to him getting his first goal, I think, also in the season.
This season, yeah.
Yeah, so big up to him.
But you know what it is though? But that just goes to show, like, there's no egos in this team. Like, like that's a moment for Vieira to celebrate, and Eddie gave up his fourth goal to be like, you know what, have your moment.
Yeah, consistency is key, says my guy here. Big up to him. Emile Smith-Rowe. Thoughts on Emile Smith-Rowe's performance? I thought he wasn't amazing, but for somebody who hasn't played much for over a year, I have to give him credit. I still have to give him some credit. That's how I feel, at least. What do you think?
I'm going to be biased, sure. This is my guy. This is my baller. Right, you know what? When I saw his name on the sheet, I thought, yes, I get to see Smith-Rowe play football. Yo, this guy's going to come good. Like, I've always said it. I've never had a doubt in my mind that, his performances will pick up. Like I've always said, he's one of the most deadly players that we have in this team. Again, another player who's bipedal, who can play, both sides of the pitch as well. You've seen it today as well. Havertz, ESR rotating, him taking more advance and letting Martinelli come inside, them rotating in between each other. And I feel like he's starting to understand the team a lot better as well, because when you see Zinchenko bomb forward, you can actually see ESR taking up a left-back position or playing in that position so that they've got two wide players with Martinelli. And I think with time, with a bit more fitness, I hope to see him against West Ham, because I feel like that's another key game for him to build those minutes up as well. And I think once that happens, once he starts getting a bit more consistency, whether it's off the bench, whether it's starting games, we'll start to see the goals and the assists start flowing as well.
Okay, I feel like we've touched on the majority of the points that they're going to talk about here on the report, but let's just see. Patience paid off. That's true. We have been a lot more patient lately in growing into games. We don't go freak out and start throwing our toys out the prem if we don't have a good first 20 minutes in the game. We grow into the game. So that is a really good point. I didn't mention that. Eddie Nketiah's hat trick, we spoke about that numerous times. The late goals and glows. That's true. Late in games, we tend to mess up teams and just finish them off. Like, we really grow into games. So the late goals have been a big part of our game plan lately. What do you think about that?
It can go two ways, though, because sometimes if you're waiting for a goal and being too patient, it may never come. And sometimes the opportunities early on is better because the team's getting into the flow of things. So I do want to see a mixture. I do want to see what we did last season, where in the first 20 minutes we score, the goals that we need to score, and then kind of just, it's more control for me, more than scoring goals late on. But yeah, we've been excellent. I mean, the comebacks that we had against like Bournemouth, for example, this season against Man United, what we did against Chelsea as well in the dying embers of the game. So I think for us, like, we've clearly got that mentality to just keep it out for like the 90 to 100 minutes that we end up playing.
I don't know why Emile Smith-Rowe's there.
Hey, why are you disrespecting my guy for, man? Smith-Rowe deserves to be
there. I like Emile Smith-Rowe, but he doesn't deserve to be in
he deserves to be there.
Rice, it's between Rice and Eddie Nketiah, and the man scored a hat trick. You have to give it to Eddie.
Nah, Smith Rowe, just for disrespecting him.
Nah, Eddie's getting man of the match.
Smith Rowe, you disrespected him. You
It
changed my
has to
mind.
be Eddie
I
Nketiah.
was gonna give it to Eddie Nketiah, but you
Look,
disrespected my guy.
85%. It's done. He's getting it. But
No, we
Smith
know
Rowe
he's getting
second.
it.
That's
We know he's
hilarious.
getting it.
Smith Rowe second. That's funny.
Yeah,
by
exactly,
the way,
bro. Watch it. He wasn't even bad.
should we speak about this? Bukayo Saka was the captain versus Sheffield United today.
Yeah,
How
he's
do you feel
star
about
boy,
that?
man. He's the face of the franchise. Of course, he's the captain.
Yeah, with Martin Odegaard not in the team, he was the captain. Also, we have to talk about Martin Odegaard. He got dropped today. We didn't really miss him, but we're gonna miss him against the top teams and other teams later in the season. But he needed rest. I feel like this was a key game for him to be rested, and it really benefits him and the team to have a rested, ready to go Martin Odegaard for the rest of the season.
Nah, do you know what? Do you know what? Like, I asked for him to be dropped, but that doesn't mean I'm going to create a narrative around him. You know, at the end of the day, Odegaard is the most vital piece to the Arsenal puzzle. You know, against Sheffield, yeah, we don't need him per se. We don't even need Saka per se against Sheffield United. So I don't want to create these narratives that a lot of people are going to create that, oh, without Odegaard, we've scored 5 goals, we look better. No, it's Sheffield United. With Odegaard, we probably beat them 9-0. That's the difference. But the reality is Odegaard needed to step out of the team. There was clearly something not quite ticking for him, whether it's fatigue, whether it's just, you know, mentally he's not quite there yet. You know, but I do think when it comes to Newcastle next week, if Odegaard isn't playing a game like that, we lose. So we need him back and we need him at his best. So whether that's taking him out of the firing line and putting him back in later, well, obviously time will tell. But for me, I hate these narratives I'm seeing on Twitter right now.
You could see where I'm going with this next point. Newcastle just scored, by the way, they're 1-0 up. So that has changed the goals, but we're still tied for second best goals. We have the second best defense in the league, and we have the second best goal difference in the league. We are slowly but surely getting our numbers back up there with amongst the best in the league. I felt like before this game, people were questioning our attack. Are we able to finish teams off? Today, we put them to the sword, and that was very necessary. We need to see more performances like this, and we need to continue to look at this goal difference, because late in the season, this is going to be the difference between maybe having to need 3 points to win the league or having to need like 1 point. It could be the difference between literally winning the league or not winning the league, as we've seen Liverpool and Man City tied on points almost at one point in the season a couple of years ago. So good on them. And to do this with no Odegaard, to do this with Saka barely having a good game, Martinelli not really having a good game, it shows that we have other people who can step up in this team, and it's very good. And I'm happy about this right here, because we've been looking at this and it hasn't looked good at times this season, the goals.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the table, you know, you've got potentially 5, well, right at this stage in terms of the first 10 games, you're looking at like 4 to 5 teams who can compete for the league. And sometimes it comes down to those finer margins, which is goal difference, you know, beating the opposition. And we need to take every advantage we can. We can't just leave it down to, we'll blitz the league and we'll get enough points. Because it could be that we tie on points and it was goal difference. And we look back at these games like Sheffield, and why didn't we put them to the sword? Why didn't we score the 5 goals? Why didn't we score 6 goals against them when they were clearly there for the taking? And I think this is why a lot of, you know, even Arteta emphasizes fine margins. And, you know, Man City do it very well. They dispatch teams they need to dispatch. And when they have like a United, or when they have, you know, an Arsenal, they'll obviously keep it tight. It might be a 1-0, 2-0, but they can afford to do that. But when you get to the business end of the season, and let's say Man City and Arsenal, let's say we're both tied on points, what's that going to do? It's going to cause panic for us to start becoming more offensive and to score more goals, which means we're going to leak more goals. So it kind of has a counter effect.
Next, we have broken that hoodoo of conceding at the Emirates. Clean sheet versus Sheffield United. Clean sheet versus Manchester City. Clean sheet versus Brentford. Yes, we scored versus clean sheet versus PSV, I mean, not Brentford. Yes, we conceded to Tottenham. Yes, we conceded to Manchester United, but we had another clean sheet early in the season also. No, but that was away from home. My point is the clean sheets have been starting to come at the Emirates. We've been starting to have better defensive performances, and we're getting a lot of clean sheets. Raya, since he's come in already, what is that? 1 clean sheet here, another one here. another one here. 4 clean sheets in the Premier League, and he's missed the first 3 games. We have the most clean sheets in the Premier League as a team, and these kind of defensive performances as a team are going to benefit us later in the season. And if our offense is to match, we are going to be a really, really good team come the business end of the season. We're still clicking into gear. We've not even gotten to our best level yet. I still believe this team has levels to go. And you know what? We're spreading the goals around. We're spreading the goals around this season. Eddie Nketiah has 5 goals. Bukayo Saka has 4 goals. Martinelli has 3 goals. Declan Rice has 2 goals as a defensive midfielder. You have Fábio Vieira, Martinelli, Tomiyasu, Jesus, Ben White, Trossard, all on the goal sheets. We have a lot of goal scorers in our team this season, and it's being spread out far and wide. Imagine we add a 20-goal scorer into this team like Ivan Toney in the January window. It would just raise us to a level that would be far beyond what we currently are able to do. Do you still think we need that striker? Because I do.
I do think we need like a different profile. You know, whether that comes from the squad, as in Havertz going up top, but I do think we need someone who can be clinical when we need them to be, especially against low blocks. And someone like I'll accept it, Tony. You know, even though I think long term I want a Victor Osimhen coming in, but I think Ivan Toney can be the difference maker between a league title and not winning anything this season, or even a League Cup or a FA Cup. So I do think we need someone who can just score goals, like pure goal numbers, and that is someone like, you know, that's what we do lack a little bit.
Okay. Just because I'm short on time today, let's do these player ratings quite quickly. I feel like it's going to be very positive player ratings today. So everyone in the comment section, as you guys know, play along. Souls, if you see any comments, please let me know. What happened to Thomas Partey, says Arsenal 10 Nathan. Thomas Partey has a muscular injury, so he is not going to be featuring for at least the next couple games. We'll see if he can get back fit after the international break that's coming up very soon. So first things first, Souls, we're going to go this camera. This is a good camera. Rhea didn't have to do much. Clean sheet, 7. Simple.
I'd actually go a bit higher, but yes, no, I agree with the 7, just because I think his distribution today has been immense from what we've seen.
Him an 8.
That's what I was going to get.
Ben White, no problems, 7.5.
7.5 for me. I thought he was brilliant today.
Yeah, Benjamin White was amazing. Saliba, 7.5.
Yeah, standard for him.
KVR, 7.5.
Yeah.
Zinchenko, 8.
You know, I actually do agree. I think it's probably one of his best performances this season.
Yeah. He should be playing more often versus Sheffield United. Rice, 10. No. I'll give him a 9.
Yeah, because you said 10s are hard to get. I don't think this is a 10.
You know what? I don't think it's even a 9. I'll give him an 8.5.
I think 8.5, yeah.
8.5. Havertz, kind of
7.
Quiet game. 7, yeah. 6.
No, it's a 7, man. You can't give him a 6. I thought you did all right.
Okay. You know, we'll give him 6.5.
Just hating on him. All right, that's fine.
I just didn't think he impacted the game in the offensive end. Midfield-wise, he controlled the game well, and he kept us going defensively. But look at this. I'm also going to give Smith Rowe a 6.5.
Nah.
Sorry, he got an assist also. So I'll give him a 7.
But wait, what did you watch? No, he's a 7.5, easy.
I don't think he was the best player. I don't think he was that good. I think he was kind of. It's just he's been rusty.
I thought he had a positive impact today.
I'll give him a 7.
Well, anyways, one of the chats said 11 out of 10.
So, for who? For Declan Rice?
For ESR.
I'll give him a 7. I think that's fair.
Agendas, you know what? Agendas stick. All right, go on. No, you can give him a 7. That's fine. But I'm just saying.
Saka, I'll let you pick on this one. I don't even know what to give him.
I'm tossed between like a 7 and a 7.5 for me.
If we give Smith Rowe a 7, we should give him a 7 also.
Yeah, that's why I'm. Yeah, all right. I can live with that. I do think Saka had a really.
I think Martinelli was better than both Smith Rowe and Saka.
Yeah, AFC Nation said Saka 6. To be honest, not great today. But yeah, I think 7.5 for both. Probably fine.
7.5 for Martinelli.
Yeah, he was better than Saka for me.
Yeah. Eddie Nketiah gets a 9. 9
Does he
for
not
Eddie.
get more though? Because like, I mean, what more could he have done? That's as near as a perfect performance as you can get.
You guys giving him a 10?
I wouldn't say you could do. I wouldn't. I'm not opposed.
9.5.
Wait. Let me see what the chat has to say. All right, just scroll past him. Don't submit it. Well, let's keep that as the rating for now.
Tomiyasu gets a 8.
Yeah, 100%. Perfect
Trossard
impact.
gets a 7.
Yeah, I don't think he did. He did well coming on, but not impacted.
Nelson didn't have enough time to impact the game.
Yeah. So
but at the same time, Fábio Vieira scored a goal, so you give him a 6.
Yeah.
And then he got the assist for the goal.
He gets a 10, and then he always gets a 10.
And then he gets a 7 also. Vieira gets a 7 also. I'll give Nelson a 5.
All right, so we've got a few. All right, so if anyone else wants to comment at Eddie Nketiah before we submit it, just let us know. So AFC Nation has said 10. TK said, no, it's a hat trick. You have to give a 10. Has to be a 10 from the Third Eye Boy. Abdi has said 9.5. TK said, as a striker, hat trick is an automatic 10. So yeah, it's kind of up to you how you want to do it, because a lot of people are saying 10s, but also there's one that's saying 9.5. So it's a bit up to us really what we want to do. But I think for a striker, what more can you do?
5-goal display. I'm happy for the whole team. Like, everyone's getting a lot of good credit.
Jacob said 10 as well. So there's more.
I'm going to give him 9.5. Guys, we save 10s for big games where you do this kind of performance. We don't want to make 10s meaningless. Okay?
All right, okay. All right.
9.5. Tomiyasu 8, 7 for Trossard, 5 for Nelson, 7 for Vieira, 7 for Elneny. And that's it. We're all set.
You know what the maddest thing is? I was actually fighting for Eddie and Nketiah getting a 10 over you. Who would have thought that?
Never. But yeah, I think that's it. This is probably the quickest match reaction in a while. There's not much to really talk about. Big up everybody. I am gonna go and say this. If you guys could do me a favor, hit the like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Make sure you guys do follow the content. I love you guys. Unfortunately, I am not able to stream as often because I do have a newborn baby and I've been busy, quite busy with that. But hopefully we can get a panel show going with the Arsenal fans, and maybe Souls can run it or something. We'll figure it out. But you guys have yourselves a great day. Enjoy the rest of the football, and we will catch you guys tomorrow with Vibes from 6 at around 8 o'clock. Love for the love, people. Souls, appreciate you coming on. Have a good day, guys.